Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2. Hello. Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday's coverage of the Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown here at 2026. What a beautiful morning we have, overlooking the track here, green grass. It's a bit crisp this morning, ladies and gentlemen, but it's actually a beautiful day and it's promising to be a sunny day all day, and we shall have a great day. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday here, race day. This is the money day here, as we all know, on the 2026 Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown. And we're looking forward to some really great racing, if anything was to go from yesterday. We had some great qualifying and some really close heats there, so some really good racing, some incidents along the way, but nothing too major. And I think the spirit of the weekend is still there, and it's been shown there in the pits and with the drivers and everybody having fun and enjoying themselves, and this has really turned out to be a fantastic weekend so far. I hope you all enjoyed last night, and the congratulations to the winners there last night for the raffles and the giveaways. Just a reminder, there is another raffle still going, so that's up at the canteen. There's 7 prizes to be drawn. There's sort of pretty good prizes there, so data loggers and all that sort of stuff there. So it's $10 a ticket or $3. I'll start again. It's $10 a ticket or 3 tickets for $20. Cash a card, and as I said, there's 7 prizes. And that'll be drawn today between heats 4 and the final. So what a beautiful day we have out here. It's a bit crisp, as we know, this morning, but that'll warm up very shortly. So here in the mid-north coast of New South Wales, at Australia's premier karting event, I don't think you'll find a better karting facility than this one either. So good to have everybody here, good to have a good crew, and thank you to all the volunteers and everybody who's made this weekend possible. So remember, without our volunteers, we don't have what we have. Colette and the team working tirelessly there in the canteen. So whenever you go there, make sure you say thank you, because without them we don't get fed. Also, all the work that's gone behind the scene, mowing the lawns and preparing the facility, it takes a hell of a lot of work, and so all the volunteers and everybody involved, and thank you for all the hard work. So if you see one of the volunteers, make sure you say thank you if you know who they are. The other thing too is our officials. They're doing a great job out here. Officials are of a high standard here. They're quality officials, as we know, and they're doing a great job. And again, a lot of them are volunteers, are unpaid, and they're doing this for you. So without them, we don't have this racing. So sometimes they don't get it 100% right, but they do try to make the decisions that are fair and unbiased, and make sure that it's safe for everyone there. So if you do see an official out there, make sure you do say thank you, and because without them, really, we don't have this racing. And they are pretty good guys up here. So congratulations to all the officials, and congratulations for making this weekend what it is. Again, without our partners, we don't do what we do here. So our sponsors are our partners here. They're a great mob of people. They're the CEX Club. So as you know, we're now called the CEX Raceway. So the CEX Club is the ex-services club here. They've got 3 locations in Coffs, Harbour, Urunga and Woolgoolga, or Whoopi as they call it here locally. So if you're looking for a night out or a good time with live entertainment, just for a drink or a coffee or whatever, just a place to sit and relax, the CEX Club is a great place to visit. So make sure you go there and join them. Maybe tonight for a meal. So a good place if you're after hard days, hard weekends racing. If you're not travelling home, make sure you go see our good friends there at the CEX Club. Proud sponsors of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club and the naming sponsor of our facility here, known as the CEX Raceway. Another one of our wonderful sponsors have come on board just recently is Curtis Strata Group. So Curtis Strata Group provide complete support, including strata setup, ongoing management, secretarial and administration services, developer consulting and tailored insurance solutions. Curtis Strata Group experience covers residential, commercial, industrial, retirement village and mixed-use properties, ensuring every client receives specialised care. Curtis Strata Group, their commitment is to protecting investments and ensuring compliance sets them apart from reliable choice of property management. So Curtis Strata Group, fantastic bunch of people there, also a proud sponsor of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. So we've had these live streams come this weekend, so it's great to have there's been a few sponsors that have come on board to help make it possible. So they've sponsored not only the club but also sponsored the club's live streaming of this weekend. And DPE Kart Superstore is one of them. So they're based in Melbourne, and DPE Technology not only designs and manufactures Arrow karts, but are also Australia's distributor of the world's renowned karting products. They have their own exclusive Kartech range of karting equipment, which comprises of promotional items, tools, engines and exhaust components, seats and drive sprockets, just to mention a few. DPE are also agents for distributors of many Australia's and the world's best karting components. So thank you to DPE for coming on board, a great sponsor of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club, and without them we couldn't have what we have here today with the, or this weekend with the live streaming. So it's great to have them on board. The Caribbean Motel, ladies and gentlemen, what a great place that is. If you haven't checked out their facility, you ever come to Coffs Harbour, there's only one place to stay, and that's the Caribbean Motel. The Caribbean Motel with 24 rooms, freshly renovated, 3 levels, across from the jetty there. Lots to do. They don't do breakfast there at the Caribbean Motel, but just across the road there's a jetty restaurants and cafes and pubs and clubs. So if you're looking to a good night and a place to stay, clean, modern, there's no place better than the Caribbean Motel. So our good friends there at Caribbean Motel will look after you. Just let them know that we sent you and they'll give you a good price. So Caribbean Motel are proud sponsors of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. Mid-Coast Trucks. So Mid-Coast Trucks, Australia's leading integrated truck solution provider, which was established in Maxville in 1991. Mid-Coast Trucks are Australia's largest used truck dealership with over 350 used trucks in stock. We have their number one salesman here, Scotty Hagen. So if you're looking for a new truck or used truck or bus, make sure you go and see Scotty Hagens. He's their number one salesman and he'll look after you. It's with his superior customer service and knowledge, which is unrivaled by anyone else in the area. So Scotty Hagens, actually I can see Scotty Hagens on the deck there. So thanks, mate. Big wave there. So congratulations and thank you for being part of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. Mid-Coast Trucks are a proud sponsor of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. Just an announcement here, so attention in the pits, KA3 Masters, can we have karts number 20, 58, 14 and 48 to race control. That's KA3 Masters, kart 20, 58, 14 and 48 to race control. I'll say it one more time. KA3 Masters, attention the pits, KA3 Masters, karts 20, 58, 14 and 48 to race control. Thank you. St George Karting's also come on board to help paid for the live streaming, and it's great to have them on board here again. So St. George Karting, they believe in their products and have a deep passion for karting. That's why they've been around since the global birth of karting, dating back to 1960s. St. George Karting now stocks over 5,000 products lines across chassis, engines, components and accessories, which makes St. George Karting one of the largest suppliers and distributors in Australia and New Zealand marketplace. St. George Karting are proud sponsors of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club, and again, thank you to St. George Karting for being one of the sponsors who come on board to help with providing the live streaming this weekend and some other prizes and stuff around the place. So they're a fantastic sponsor. Parallel Australia. So Parallel Australia also come on board to help with paying for the live streaming. It's not a cheap process, ladies and gentlemen, these live streaming, and they're doing a great job. Actually, we have the camera people, the camera ladies there, all from Woolgoolga High School, which is a town just out at just past Coffs Harbour up north, and they're doing a fantastic job with their camera work, and it's good to have them on board here with us. But Parallel Australia is the official importer and distributor of Parallel karts in Australia, proudly representing one of the world's most respected kart manufacturers. That's Parallel. More than just a distributor, Parallel Australia is committed to building a genuine karting community. They proudly support drivers, teams and dealers across the country, providing guidance, product knowledge and ongoing backing to help strengthen the Parallel presence at every level of competition. Their focus is simple: deliver world-class product, providing professional support and foster the connected high-performance karting community across Australia. So Parallel Australia, thank you for coming on board, and thank you for being a supporter here this weekend at the 2026 Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown. BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs. BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs are a trusted service centre. BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs inspect and repair heavy vehicles of all kinds. As a locally owned and operated business, BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs care about their community. They want the best for individuals and commercial owners in the area, which is why they focus on one-stop shop. BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs provide heavy vehicle service for drop-ins and appointments, as well as 24-hour breakdown service. Whenever you need heavy vehicle services in Wauchope, Taree, Kempsey, Port Macquarie or surrounding areas, you know who to call: BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs. And it's great to have them on board again as a sponsor of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club, and it's great to have them here at the 2026 Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown. Gecko Solar is a team of professionals. By recognising the importance of education and safety, quality workmanship and the ability to execute by holding one another accountable, they aim to provide smart solar energy solutions that empower customers to gain energy independence, and they only use quality products to allow you to generate your own clean energy to reduce the reliance on the grid. So Gecko Solar Energy are proud sponsors of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club, and it's great to have them on board. A1 Engine Tuning. A1 Engine Tuning is your performance workshop servicing the mid-north coast, specialising in ECU, dyno tuning and mechanical. They don't just do tuning, they have 3 fully qualified mechanics, and they can look after you and your vehicle's needs. As I said before many times, I take my cars there when I need any mechanical work, and A1 Engine Tuning there, James and Colette, they do a fantastic job. Yeah, please. Tea, yeah, tea.
White tea? No, yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
You got them all?
I got one extra. So you wanted all of KO3.
All right.
maybe you wanted to see us go as well last.
IKD, ladies and gentlemen, another one of the sponsors who've come on board to help with the live streaming. So Australia's largest direct importer and stockist of karting and motor racing equipment. IKD, International Karting Distributors, supplies premium karting and motor racing products to racers at every level, from the first-time competitors to seasoned professionals. They stock proven race-winning brands so you can line up knowing your equipment is ready to perform when it matters the most. At IKD, you can count on reliable service and fast same-day dispatch, so you're always ready to race. Backed by a passionate, experienced team, IKD are here to help you find the right step and get the most out of your racing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a list of our sponsors here. I think I've got them pretty much all noted down there. Again, I say it all the time, but without our sponsors, we can't do what we do here. So if you can support the sponsors who support your racing, it only makes sense because it all goes round in circles. So it's most of our sponsors are passionate about racing and the races themselves. So it's great that we can raise money. And then again, we can't do the little things or the extras that we do without all our sponsors. So if you can support our sponsors, I know I may say carry on a little bit about them, but they do a great job, and we can only just thank them. We can't thank them enough, to be honest with you. So it's great to have all those sponsors on board, and we thank you very much, and we do appreciate everything that you do for us.
Lucy, this is not smart. Lucy.
this afternoon. So just a reminder that we start at kick-off at 8:30 today. So 8:30 we have the KA3 heavies, and so if you can make your way down there, it's probably in the next 10 minutes. So KA3, we have an 8:30 start, so looking forward to that today. if you can just text me your PIN numbers and I can use those key cards. And I'll smile.
I was listening to that.
Duran, can you hear me? Just letting you know there's movement in the pit. Carts are beginning to get down there, so just be aware.
Oh man.
Attention to pits, attention to pits. We found a wallet here, a phone and a wallet from Noel Smith or Smythe. It's full of cards and stuff here, so if you don't want your wallet, just if you can pass me your PIN number, come up and let me know what your PIN number is. So we have a card and a phone here for Noel Smythe, or Smith. Looks like Smythe, S-M. Smythe probably. Anyway, so your phone and wallet is up here in the tower. If you want to come and pick that up, that would be great. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to rumble here on the finals day. So this is Heat 4 about to start. And first up off the rank, we have KA3 Heavy. So KA3 Heavy is brought to you by Curtis Strata Managers and Consultants. So Curtis Strata Managers and Consultants was founded in 2007 by Curtis Strata. Curtis Strata has grown into the trusted provider of strata and community title management across the mid-north coast of New South Wales. With over 40 years of combined industry experience, their licensed team delivers reliable, compliant and professional services. Strata Curtis Managers and Consultants provide complete support including setup, ongoing management, secretarial and administration services, developer consulting and tailored insurance solutions. Curtis Strata Managers and Consultants expertise covers residential, commercial, industrial, retirement villages and mixed-use properties. So if you're looking for a Strata Managers, there's only one place to go, and that is Curtis Strata Managers. So looking forward to some racing starting here in the next 3 minutes as the grid is looking ready, I think. Looking at the camera footage here, looks like the grid is nearly ready to go. The officials are all in place, the camera people are in place, and looks like we're going to be ready for racing very shortly here, ladies and gentlemen. So hold on tight, and we'll be ready to rumble any minute now. So first up in Heat 4 is KA3 Heavy. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the camera girls, actually all from year 10 at Woolgoolga High School. So Woolgoolga is just north of here, and they're we'll go through there. Give us a wave. That's it. All our camera girls out there, give us a wave up there. Don't look at your phone. Give us a wave. That's it. Good girl. Anyway, so they're doing a good job, and you're going to. I think we can all agree that the camera footage has been fantastic. So these are all Year 10 students learning how to do camera work and being part of media. So it's fantastic. So make sure if you see them, you give them a bit of a thank you and a cheer. They're volunteers here like everyone else, and they're learning. And I think you agree they're doing a fantastic job. So it's great to have them on board. So all the girls from Year 10 at Woolgoolga High School, or Whoopie High as we know it. So as we're preparing to start here, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking forward to a fantastic day. As you can see, it's a magnificent morning here. A bit crisp this morning, but here in the mid-north coast, it warms up quite quickly as the carts are ready to hit the field there. Again, this is KA3 Masters, and it's brought to you by Curtis Strata Group. So thanks again for Curtis Strata Group for being on board and being part of this wonderful event and being part of the club and volunteering. Actually, you'll see owners and sponsors and stuff helping out and sweeping and working in canteens, and not only do they supply sponsorship, they also volunteer. So it's great to have such What a great group of sponsors that we have here at Coffs Harbour Kart Club. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just trying to get the computer up running here so I can get the live timing and we get the right information out there to you. So just bear with me for a moment. So hit the live timing button. So they're off and racing there, ladies and gentlemen. So up in front, cart number 81 of Davis and Lalas and BHAG. So the usual suspects up front there. So I'm just trying to get my screen up working here, ladies and gentlemen. So just bear with me. It's uploading or uploaded? Okay. Yep. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as I try to get my computer up and running here. It was working a minute ago, but we're just rebooting it. But up front there, we do have Tim Davis followed by Nick BHAG and Steve Lalas following just close behind. So Tim Davis fastest out there at the moment with a 55.567, and he's already opened up a little bit of a gap of 6/10 to Nick BHAG out there. So pick up the leaders here. So fastest on the track now is actually Steve Lalas with a 3:24. So he's making his way up there, getting closer to the back of Nick BHAG. So they'll be on for a race there as they make their way through the city of Coffs corner. He's making their way. What a good move. He's on the inside there in before the kart track corner there, which was a pretty good move. I don't see that much, but crisscrossing back is BHAG. So BHAG and Lalas as they come into Tyrrell corner and into the infield. So infield and Lalas makes a good dive into the infield there. So good move there by Lalas. So some pretty interesting overtaking spots. That's the first ones we've seen all weekend in those spots. So good work there by Lalas, who's in cart number 8 going past the start-finish line now. Was the fastest on track, but now Tim Davis up front there, who's opened up a gap of 1.9 seconds. So to Steve Lalas. So Lalas with a bit of work to do as he make the way down into the bowl. Up front is Tim Davis doing a good job, followed by Steve Lalas and then followed by Nick BHAG. So Tim Davis doing a great job up front there as he makes his way into the infield with 6 minutes to go in one lap. So 6 minutes and 1 lap to go. As they make their way past the CEX corner, down past the start-finish line, the number 81, Tim Davis. Tim Davis doing a great job up front there. Fastest lap of a 54.118, so well done to him. Steve Lalas is still 1.9 seconds behind, so unable to close that gap, but he's still doing pretty good lap times there, very similar. So he's done a 54.121 in comparison to the leader who did a 54.118, so absolutely nothing between those two, not even a cigarette maybe you could say, as they make their way down into Hagen's corner. What a great shot of the Hagen's corner we have there. So that corner there has been redesigned so that, as you can see, you can take two lines. If you go the shadow line, you get pushed out wide on the other one if you cover, easy on the last lap or the first lap, or you can take the normal line and someone can duck underneath you. But there's two different lines there. It was designed to make that. It was designed to make that corner more interesting. That part of the track had been called a bit boring in the past, but that's really livened up that track, and that corner in particular is a fantastic part of the race here, or the track. So two different lines you can take, especially in there's only one line really, but if you want to take a defensive line, then you're going to be pushed out wide, or if you want to take a traditional line, you're going to have someone duck underneath you, and it can come unstuck at the end there. So that's what it was designed for, not to make people come unstuck, but to make sure that you can make it interesting. So yeah, that's the corner there. It's a very good corner. Actually, the whole track's pretty good. I mean, I had a bit of a run around here myself a couple of weeks ago on the Come and Try Day, and it was absolutely fantastic. It's the smoothest track I've ever been on, to tell you the truth. So it's interesting. There's a lot of technical parts to it, and there's a lot of you get that long rest down from CX corner all the way up to Hospital corner. So, and then you've got a lot of work to do after that. A lot of corners after that, and if you don't get them right. But for me, the most critical corner is the CX corner, the final corner. So the final corner, if you don't get that one right, you really lose all your momentum and all your power to the Hospital corner, and it makes you sort of vulnerable there, or even vulnerable up there at the bowl. So we'll go through the corner here. So we're following, which cart are we going to follow here? We've got following cart number 42. So cart 42 of Sean English. So he's coming into what we call the CEX corner, the final corner. And as we pick up the leader going past the start-finish line. So into turn one, and then the turn one goes up into Hospital corner. So it's called Hospital corner only because it's closest to the hospital, not because of any other reason. And then into the bowl. So when you go into the bowl there, it's actually quite a bit of camber on there actually. So quite a fun little corner, that one. In the bowl into the City of Coffs corner. So named City of Coffs corner because of the support that we've gained from the great council and mayor and that here in Coffs Harbour, and they have supported our racing, and they have sponsored our races and the club in the past, and been very supportive of making sure that we could open and be ready for races. That's the City of Coffs corner. Then we have, I missed a few there, but we have Hagen's corner. So that was named after Jerry Hagens, who was a forefather, one of the men who was involved in, one of the people that was involved in building the club and bringing the club up from, creating the club, building the club. So there was nothing there until Jerry Hagens and a few other men got together and built the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. And so without him, we wouldn't have what we have here today. Also, his wife, Dan, still works in the canteen, still making sandwiches and serving drinks and cooking bacon egg rolls and all sorts of stuff she does there. She's always hanging around, so it's great to have her here, still involved in the club. And of course, their son, and that's Hagen's Hall corner there on screen, coming into Tyrrell. So that's Tyrrell corner. Tyrrell was named after one of our members who did a lot of work around here as well. Then we call this the infield here, and then back to CEX corner. So CEX is a club, as it's known as the CEX Raceway, a great sponsor of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. They do a fantastic job. Anyway, looking back on screen, it looks like here that our friend Steve Lalas has made up a heap of room on Tim Davis. So the lead is heating up here with a minute 37. He was 1.9 seconds behind. He's now closed that gap down to 0.4 of a second. So doing a great job there is Steve Lalas. He's on the hunt now for Tim Davis, who's had it all his way so far this weekend. So Lalas there back in position number 2. Right behind Davis, so Davis and Lalas, they make their way through the Tyrrell corner into the infield. So you can see carts number 81 and 8, and they're coming through the infield now down to the City of Coffs corner. So this is really heating up. There's absolutely nothing between the two of them now as they come past the start-finish line. Lalas right on the tail of cart number 81 of Tim Davis. So Davis is under all sorts of pressure, which he hasn't had all weekend. So it's only a 1/10 of a second last time round, but you can see on track there as they make their way into the bowl that it's actually heating up for the lead here. So Lalas, has he been just saving his tyres, taking it easy? But look at him, he was 1.9 seconds behind last time I looked, and he is now right on the tail of Tim Davis. So Davis last time round with a 54.2 and Lalas with a 53.9. So, and Lalas makes a move into the Harkins corner, but as you can see, two different lines. He's still kept the inside. Lalas, Davis, Lalas, they come into the infield. So Lalas has been able to make that move stick. So well done there to Steve Lalas, who's now in the lead as they come out of CX corner. So good move there into Harkins corner to take the lead. Gives the last lap a bit of a wave, and he's taken the lead. So well done to Steve Lalas, who was, as I said, 1.9, nearly 2 seconds behind. But Davis doesn't think he's going to get away with it as he makes a move on the infield there into the bowl. So Davis in front has a correct line for the next corner. So Davis is now taking the lead back. Lalas right behind him as they come through the City of Coffs corner. So down they make their way to motorbike corner there, into the back straight. As they make their way into here, this is the Harkins corner. Lalas too far back to make the move on Davis. Davis might have been asleep there, didn't realise he was going to be overtaken. Davis taking the lead back. Lalas, has he got anything to get in front? I don't think he has. So good work there. Lalas, as I said, came from nowhere. Davis was probably having a bit of a nap and said, "What's this? No one's been around me before." And he takes the checkered flag. Well done to Steve Davis. Tim Davis, I should say, and Steve Lalas for some really, really great racing there. Fastest lap that time around was by Tim Davis. So he, as I said, he didn't realise, I think, that someone was coming for him, but the fastest lap of the race did go to Tim Davis. So congratulations there to Tim Davis, and great racing there by Steve Lalas as well. So in third place is Nick Behag, I should say. So we look forward to the finals there. So there's going to be some great racing there, because if you look at what Lalas did there, he came from the skies, from the clouds. So well done there to Tim Davis for being able to wrestle that lead back. He doesn't want to give that away. out for the racing. So Dimitri, Tim Ball. So sorry, I just had my microphone off there for the live streamers. So DPE is the sponsor of this this class. So I'll run through them again. So position number 1, number 60 is Dmitry Kozlinski. Position number 2, 39 is Aaron Rab Jones. Position number 3, cart number 8 is Tim Ball. Position number 4, cart number 51 is Chris Coons. Position number 5, cart 19 is Salvatore Scarpinato. Position number 6, cart number 9 is Peter Bosons. Position number 7, cart 71 is Mick Schiller. As they make their way into the final corner, there's more carts there, but had a little bit technical difficulty here as they come past the start. Good start there on the outside there by cart 39, but he's going to be muscled out. So position number 3 of Tim Ball making a good move there. I think he's going to be able to make his way into position number 2 as we can see out of the shadows, and maybe Tim Ball got shuffled back. Anyway, we're going to look up front there. So up front, no ball. Looks like he's in position number 2. And is that Dmitry Kozlinski up front? Making a clean move. Oh, making a good move there in position number 2. Looks like it's cart number 39 of Rab Jones. We had one in the grass back there. Is that? Does that look like? We'll have a look at that. So we've got a bit of a replay. Who's that into the infield there? So Rab Jones got through. So that's cart number 6 by the looks of it. So unfortunately. There, or maybe 5, that might be Darren Dowd. Anyway, as they make the pass, the start-finish line, cart number 60 of Kozlinski, who's been very fast all weekend, followed by Rab Jones and Tim Ball. Fastest on track is, no surprise, Kozlinski, who's opened up already a 0.8 of a second lead over the field. So Rab Jones in position number 2 with Ball. Let's see if there's a bit of a battle there between those two. So looks like Dmitry Kozlinski is just has to cruise on past here. So, but in position number 2 is Rab Jones and Ball. So Ball with a 54.5 that time round, and I'm sorry, a 54.9 against Rab Jones with a 54.5. But you can see on track there that there's nothing between them. Position number 4 and 5 having a little bit of a battle there too between Salvatore and Bosons. So Bosons and Salvatore are doing a good job there too as they come past the CX corner on the inside. Good move there on the number 9, Bosons on Scarpinato. So Scarpinato losing a spot there to Bosons, who did a very good move coming out of the final corner there. So up front there, Kozlinski, but looking to make it move into second spot and doing a great job there is Ball on Rab Jones. So Rab Jones loses a spot to Tim Ball into the Hagen's corner. So good move there by Tim Ball to take position number 2, and now he's got Bosons on the back of him there. So this little group here, positions 2, 3 and 4, is now heading up. So number 9 there sitting behind Tim Ball. So Tim Ball looking a bit vulnerable there to Rab Jones as they come down into the bowl. So we've got Tim Ball, Rab Jones and Bosons there battling for positions 2, 3 and 4. So Ball just opened up a little bit of a gap, so it's Bosons who's going to put the pressure on Rab Jones here. Let's see here, Bosons, who's looking quite speedy in this race. So Bosons not quite close enough to make a move into Hagen's, but he's all over the back of Rab Jones there. So Rab Jones under all sorts of pressure there from Bosons as it's been allowing Ball just to get away ever so slightly. So cart number 39 of Rab Jones. So Peter Bosons has now moved into position number 3. So good work there. Up front, cart number 60 is on screen there, doing a very good job, nice and smooth as he goes around. So Dmitry Kozlinski, as the positions behind him seem to have settled, but on the march there, position number 2 is Tim Ball. So Tim Ball, last time round, fastest was actually nothing between the top 2 there. So the fastest was Dmitry Kozlinski with a 51.8, and that's his fastest lap of the race. He's just cruising out there. Then Tim Ball back there in position number 2 with a 52 flat, and Peter Bosons with a 52 flat. So This little battle group here for second, third and fourth, I wouldn't say is over yet. Trying to join the back of that group is Scarpinato. So Scarpinato is he's looking to join this little group here. So as you can see, it's starting to heat up there again for position number 3 anyway, between Kart's number 39 and 8. That's Bosons and Rab Jones. So Rab Jones looking to make a move on Peter Bosons there for position number 3 as they make their way into the motorbike corner down the back straight as they move into Hagen's corner. So fastest on track there is kart number 9 of Peter Bossons, who's right behind there now on looking to reel in Tim Ball. So Ball looking comfortable there for a while in position number 2, but Bossons fastest on track at the 51.574 as they make their way again into Hagen's corner. Sitting there quite comfortably up front is Dmitry Kozlinski with 1.7 second lead over the field. But this position's number 2, 3 and 4 is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way into the CEX corner. So last time round the gap between Ball and Bossons was 4/10. This time round, there's absolutely nothing. There's actually he's lost a bit of time that time round. Boston's on Ball, so Ball they're in position 2, but I still get the feeling with 3 minutes and 33 seconds and 1 lap to go that anything can happen here at this stage. So Tim Ball just needs to be a bit more consistent, I think. So he's been very fast at times. He's been fastest on track now, as we know. He just needs to hold a little bit of consistency as they make their way into the infield. So there's Ball in position number 3, trying to position number 2 with Bossons now looking to close that gap on him there. So looking further afield there, we've got Rab Jones, Salvatore, Nick Schiller, Darren Dowd and Matt Sheehy, Dan Buchanan and Andy Mann make up your top 10 there. So doing a good job up front. But Bossons now the fastest on track. So position number 3 there is Peter Bossons, who's looking to catch the back of Tim Ball. So Bossons that time round with a 51.454. So Bossons now the fastest man on track. Kozlinski still with a 1.7 second lead over the field there. So, but okay, starting to look a little bit more interesting here is positions number 2 and 3 as they go past Hagen's corner into Tyrrell. So Ball had a 0.2 of a second lead over Bossons last time round, so that's looks like it's closed down substantially. Bossons a little bit too much curved there into the infield as they make their way out of the CX corner. Both of them had a good run out of there. Not close enough is Bossons to take the lead or take Ball, but right on his tail now. Still 0.2 of a second between the two of them. Last time round they both did Ball with a 51.525 and Bossons with a 51.492. So pretty consistent those last 2 laps. A 51.4 was his fastest, and a 1:04 was our last lap. So as they make their way down into Hagen's corner yet again, it's nothing between those two. But looks like maybe Ball's been able to respond a little bit and just pull away ever so slightly. So Bosson's not quite close enough as they make their way into the CX corner. So Bosson's just needs a really good run out of this corner and see if he got a run on the back of him. But I think Ball had a better exit out of the final corner there and been able to open up that gap ever so slightly up with back straight into Hospital corner. So Ball sitting there in position number 2. He's 1.8 seconds behind the leader, so 1.8 seconds is a long way. But Ball and Bosson's is 0.3 of a second there, so Bosson's opened up Ball opened up a 1/10 of a second that last time round. So with the last lap board going to be shown this time round, it'll be the end of this lap plus one more. So last lap board is already as the leader comes into Tyrrell. So Tyrrell into the infield. So last lap upside down there. Anyway, how's that spelled? That's last lap upside down. What does that say? Drivers know what that means? Anyways, they come past the start-finish line there, ladies and gentlemen. Good work there by Dmitry Kozlinski. With a fastest lap of the race that time round with a, so he's a 51.257. Tim Ball with a 51.5. So Ball a lot closer this time round. Let's see if Bossons can do anything or has anything for Tim Ball as they make their way out of the bowl into the City of Coffs complex there. So City of Coffs corner, still a little bit of a gap. Ball just not quite close enough. If he's going to make a run, he needs to get right on the rear bumper here as they make their way into Hagen's corner. But I don't think he's close enough to make the dive into the Hagen's corner, into Tyrrell. I think Ball has done enough to keep Bossons at bay here, unless he has a dive in here somewhere. He's come right up on his rear bumper, but he's still not close enough as they come past the infield there. The leader makes his way past the CX corner, takes the checkered flag, looks over his shoulder, and good work there by Tim Ball and Peter Bossons for some good racing there. Dmitry Kozlinski doing a great job taking out the Heat 4 here at the 2026 Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown. So congratulations to him. Good racing there for Tim Ball and Peter Bossons. And Rab Jones is not too far behind either with his lap time. So well done everybody involved, and we look forward to a fantastic final coming up later on today. So we have the DD2 Masters now out on the field there, ladies and gentlemen. So DD2 Masters is brought to you by RHM, so Ryan Hughes Motorsports. So if you're looking for any parts from the screwdriver for a screw up all the way up to a brand new kart, Ryan Hughes can supply anything in that and in between. So he also has a team of drivers as they there's a little bit of a mix up here in the out lap, but they have a team of drivers and driver training. So all your karting needs, go and see Ryan there at RHM Motorsports, so Ryan Hughes Motorsports. So great to have him on board and continued supporter here of the Coffs Harbour Kart Club. Now out on track, there's a little bit of confusion there on the out lap. So for drivers, if you need to know, if you don't remember, so on the out lap you just use the cut through, and then the formation lap you use the cut through. So, and then when you're racing, you don't use the cut through. So I know it can be a bit confusing, but the cadets understand it. So maybe the masters can understand that as well. Anyway, as the front there, we got cut number 29. Position number 1 is Troy Bretherton. Position number 2, cut number 14 is Scott Cleveland. Position number 3, cut number 3 is Kimmy Mathers. Position number 4, cut number 21 is Adam Wood. Position number 5, cut number 8 is Dan Hutchinson. Position number 6, cut number 1 is Tessa Hanley, who's been very racy from the big pack there. Position number 7, cut number 6 is Mid-Track Smith. Position number 8, cut number 13 is Stephanie Duffy. And position number 9, cut number 57 is John Heath as they come around the corner ready for the racing here. So there's looks like they're a bit muddled up in their formation there, so obviously didn't make it into the formation line. It's a good start there from the outside of Scotty Cleveland in that cart number, it looks like cart number 14 there. So as they come down into the bowl for the first time, all nose to tail, so nothing to report this set. There was a bit of a mix up there in the starting grid, so cart's out of position, so it looks like Brethren didn't make it back to his position, so yeah, John Heath is not racing there. I called him out, but he is not racing. There's a bit of a move there in the into Hagen's corner. Looks like we lost the telecast there, have we? Anyway, so going back into up front there with a great start was Scotty Cleveland from the outside line. So they've all got held up in their start there. So position number 3 is Kimmy Mathers. Troy Bretherton back there in position number 3. Kim Mathers. Kimmy Mathers position number 2. Adam Wood position number 3. Bretherton losing a couple of spots there. So he was quite racy yesterday. So he's made a mistake on the out lap, and I don't think he's recovered to get to the formation line on time, and it muddled up the starting order there. But that's okay. It's all a bit of fun here, and I'm sure that after 10 minutes of racing, they'll be able to sort that out as they make their way into Hagen's corner down into Tyrrell. Up in the lead there is Scott Cleveland, who had half a second lead over Mathers last time around. Wood there, position number 3. Bretherton, position number 4. And Henley in position number 5. So nothing between the top 4 or 5 drivers here, ladies and gentlemen, as they go past the start-finish line. Yet again, this time round, Mathers been able to close that gap by 0.2 of a second and posting the fastest lap. So Mathers there, Kimmy Mathers in their position number 2, fastest on track with a 50.110. So they'll be down in the 48. So there's still a bit cooler track there. So today, but those lap times will start dropping quickly there. As it looks like that Mitch Bretherton got back on the handle there again. So as they come down past the back straight there into Hagen's corner, up front there, looking quite racy now is Adam Wood there in position number 3, trying to get past Mathers as Cleveland is starting to open up a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field. So nothing between positions 2, 3, 4 and 5 there as they come into the CX corner down past the start-finish line yet again. The gap this time round, last time round was 3 tenths. I think Cleveland's been able to open that up again. Yes, he has 4 tenths, but fastest on track is Wood, and you can see he's looking quite racy there. Back in position number 3, cart number 21 is Aaron Wood. Adam Wood, I should say. Aaron Wood's a footballer. Anyway, as they come into the City of Coffs corner, there's nothing between them, making a move on the inside, trying to look the way. Good move there by Adam Wood on Kimmy Mathers into the City of Coffs corner, being able to take a position number 2 and open up a gap straight away on Mathers. So into position number 2 goes Adam Wood doing a really good job out there. He is fastest on track, and now he's on the hunt for the leader. Last time round there was 4/10 of a second between the leader and position number 2, but I feel that it might be a bit bigger this time, but on the march is definitely Adam Wood. As they go past the start finish line, car number 21 of Adam Wood is in position number 2 and posting not quite the fastest lap time this time round, but is second fastest on track. Fastest was Scott Cleveland, who's opened up that lead to 0.6 of a second, but that will be closing down, I would suspect. Anyway, looking back down position number 3 and looking vulnerable is Mathers from Brotherton. So Brotherton making the move there on the same corner there. Brotherton making the move into the City of Coffs corner and taking that position number 3. So Mathers under all sorts of pressure and loses another spot there. No, not quite. As they make battle through Hargans to Tyrrell. Yes, Mathers loses another spot there. Now to Tezza Hanley. So Tezza Hanley up into position number 4. So Kim Mathers been shuffled back a few positions there. But you look at the front here. On the march is Adam Wood, who has closed that gap from 0.6 of a second down to 4/10. So he's picked up 0.2 of a second on the leader there and posting the fastest lap of this 49.788. Brotherton with a 49.794. So they are about half a second faster than the leader. As we come into the City of Coffs corner, a little bit too much curb there by Cleveland, I thought. As they're making their way through the hospital corner, closing the gap is Adam Wood on Cleveland. So Wood is going to be right over the back of Cleveland any minute now. So that's, yes, Cleveland's going to have some company very, very shortly as they come into the infield. Oh, a little bit too much curb there again by Wood in the infield, but didn't seem to hold his progression. Good exit there from the final corner of Cleveland. So the Cleveland is going to be under all sorts of pressure at the end of the hospital corner. I don't know sure if he's close enough. No, Wood wasn't close enough there. They make their way into the bowl. So it's going to be a change for the position here, I feel, with 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes and 45 seconds plus 1 lap to go. So make their way into the City of Coffs corner. Looks like Cleveland might have picked up the pace there a little bit. Not that he was being that slow. He was 49.6 last time round with Wood with a 49.4 as they make the way out of Hargan's corner into Tyrrell. Up front there doing a great job is Scotty Cleveland, but he has all sorts of pressure there from Adam Wood, and going to join this little party very shortly is going to be Troy Brotherton, who's also looking quite pacey out there, all looking on the inside there, trying to get the overlap as they go past the final corner, up the back straight. Having a quick look inside is Wood on Cleveland. So Wood, Cleveland not close enough, quite close enough to make the move. So Wood, Cleveland, and now Brotherton joining this little party. So let's see what they do in the City of Coffs corner. Wood trying to make his way past Cleveland there. So Cleveland still being able to hold that lead in car number 14 as they make the way to the corner. So down into Hargans. Still nothing, but that's a three-way tussle. You can see they're on track there now. So Cleveland going to be under all sorts of pressure here. Can he hold on to the lead for another 3 minutes and 28 seconds plus 1 lap as they make the way into CX corner last time round? It was very close. A great exit that time for car number 21 of Adam Wood in that final corner, which is giving him the run up the back straight, but still just not close enough to make that move. So, but he did have a good run out of that final corner as they make their way into the bowl. He's all over the back of Cleveland. So Cleveland now, well, Wood's going to have a lot of pressure now from Brotherton, who was posted the fastest lap last time around with a 49.296. So Brotherton all over the back. So now Wood is trying to get past Cleveland and trying to fend off Brotherton. Brotherton makes a great move on the inside into Tyrrell and makes the move into second spot. So good move there by Brotherton to take position number 2 as they make their way into the infield out of the CX corner, down past the start finish line. That's car number 21 of Adam Wood. I think he's a bit disappointed that he dropped that position, but let's see what Brotherton can do. See if Brotherton can make his way past the leader Cleveland, who's done a good job to maintain the lead there. Fastest on track last time round is cut number 1. Back in position number 4 is Tezza Hanley. So Hanley with a 49.288, but he's a bit back there. So can he join this little group here with 2 minutes to go and 1 lap? Up front there doing a good job is Scotty Cleveland, who's been able to lead from the beginning, had a great start, been able to hold that lead and maintain it. So, yeah, the other karts might be a little bit faster, but they've got to get around him. So Cleveland doing a fantastic job up front there as they make the way into the infield out of CEX corner, down past the final line. Not a good exit that time by Bredicton out of the final corner. Had a bit of a slip, and you can see that's allowed Cleveland to open up a little bit of a gap and a little bit of a breather for a couple of corners anyway. So a little bit of a mistake there by Bredicton out of the final corner, the CEX corner, as they make their way into the City of Coffs corner here. And looking quite racy is Tessa Hanley back there in position number 4, but not quite close enough. I reckon he'll join this little group very shortly. Dropping off the pace there a little bit, there has been Adam Wood. I don't know if he's had a bit of a rest, but not been able to keep up with these two leaders there for a while. But he's looks like he's starting to come back at him. And with only 1 minute and 1 lap to go, looking through the front here, car number 14 doing a great job holding this lead all the way through. He's still got a little bit of a gap. It's another poor exit that time from Bretherton out of the final corner. Took a bit narrow, which has allowed Wood to close up on the back of him. So still nothing between the front runners there. Hanley continues to be fastest on track there. So really be able to head on to the back of this little train with 31 seconds to go as they make their way through the City of Coffs corner. Say the penultimate time. So down into, past the motorbike track there, into Hagen's corner. So Hagen's into Tyrrell, and then into the infield there as the last lap board is already, ladies and gentlemen, with 8 seconds to 7 seconds, 6 seconds to go into the final corner. The last lap board is shown here. So has anybody got anything for anybody? I think Cleveland might have done enough to keep a little bit of a gap there. Cleveland doing a great job up front there, opened up a bit of a gap this time around with 0.3 of a second. So position number 2 is the one that's vulnerable now. So Bretherton over Wood. So Wood looking to get past Cleveland and defend Wood. So Bretherton looking to get past Cleveland and defend Wood as they come into the Hagen's corner now for the last time. Not close enough. Taking the defensive line that time did Cleveland the leader. So he's one more corner. I think he might have this. So as there's nothing between the leader and position number 2 of Bretherton. But looks like Scotty Cleveland doing a great job there, leading from go to woe. Fantastic race there. Bretherton trying to get him before the start-finish line, but that was never going to happen. So congratulations there to Scotty Cleveland, leading from start to finish. Position number 2 he was there and took the lead and never gave it up, and had a clean race there. So congratulations, well done to all the drivers. Tessa Hanley with the fastest lap of a 49.288. So quite fast out there. So well done to all involved, and thank you to Ryan Hughes Motorsport for supporting that class.
The Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown are on this June long weekend at CEX Raceway Coffs Harbour, celebrating 31 years of racing. Proudly endorsed by Jeff King Motors and
Yes,
sponsored
the
by
good
A1
old
Engine
boys
Tuning
are up
Mechanical,
next, ladies and
BD and
gentlemen.
Heavy Vehicle Repairs, Caribbean Motel and Mid-Coast Trucks and Isuzu.
For corporate rates, call 1-800-987-140. So the Caribbean Motel has 24 rooms over 3 levels with on-site parking, ideally located within walking distance of numerous restaurants, the harbour, the beach, a gymnasium, supermarkets, pharmacy, doctors, hotels, railway stations and many other services. The airport is located only 3.3 kilometres away. Breakfast is not available at the Caribbean Motel, but there are several fantastic options just across the street at the Coffs Harbour Jetty. The Caribbean Motel, ladies and gentlemen, is a premier location here of motels in the Coffs Coast, and it's great to have them on board as the sponsors of the over 60s. Mid-Coast Trucks. Mid-Coast Trucks are also a sponsor of the 4SS Supermax out there on track 2, ladies and gentlemen. So 4SX Supermax are up there with them. So Mid-Coast Trucks, a modern sales and service facility in Maxwell and Coffs Harbour. They have a fabrication workshop, factory-trained technicians, purpose-built panel, paint and detailing department. They have a comprehensive range of parts, accessories to ensure that the market leaders in customer service, repair, swapping, stretching, building and refurbishing any truck to suit individual businesses' needs, both on or any truck stocks. They also sell new and used trucks and buses. Actually, their number one salesman is Scott Hagens, who is out here racing, and his father was one of the 4 founders of the track. So if you want a new truck and some work done to a truck, a new bus, make sure you go and see our good friends there at Mid-Coast Trucks and ask for Scott Hagens. Anyway, back on track here, we have quite a good field here. So cart number 32, number 1 is Trevor Whitby. Number 2, number 14 is Rudy Farkas. Position number 3 is 74, Peter Patswell. Position number 4, number 10 is Paul Baxter. Position number 5, cart number 30 is Paul Chines. Position number 6, 21 is Russell Vellicott. Position number 7, cart number 89 is Brian Timbermore. Cart number 8, 71 is Greg Dicker. Cart number 9, number 57, the oldest man in racing, Winston Hayward, as they make their way past the stuff in front. Great start there for cart number 32. Taking the lead was Whitby. Are they racing? They're racing. So yes, racing, ladies and gentlemen. So cart number 32, Trevor Whitby, had a great start there. So he's now in the lead there. And we've got one in the beach. I know it's a beautiful place here, Coffs Harbour, but that's not the beach that you want to be in. So there's one stuck in the beach there at Hospital Corner. That's unfortunate for cart number 71 there of Greg Dicker, who was quite fast there yesterday. So Dicker out of this race, so he'll be starting the finals towards the end of towards the back of the pack, I should say. Anyway, looking up front there, Trevor Whitby with a good job, good start, good jump. He waited time, and when the light went green, off he went. So good work there, car number 32 of Trevor Whitby. Back there in position number 2, looks like it's 74 of Peter Patswell, who was very fast yesterday, and looking quite fast there is Farkas. So Farkas looking to make the move into Hospital Corner, but not quite close enough. And right behind Farkas is Paul Chimes. So Chimes doing a great job there, and then Vellicott there in position number 5 as they come into the bowl for the second time with 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go as they make their way down into the city of Coffs Corner. Doing a great job up front there with opening up already a half a second lead is Trevor Whitby. So doing a fantastic job. That's a half a second lead. That's a 5/10 of a second over Peter Patswell last time around. So Patswell followed by Farkas, followed by Chimes. So Chimes is it's not a name I've been calling a lot lately, but he's doing a good job, just steadily moving his way up. Then Vellicott doing a good job there too. Where's my good mate Winston Hayward? Back there in position number 7 is Winston Hayward. What a good job he's doing. Right behind, so who's Hayward right behind? Hayward behind Tabernacle. Looking up front there where the action is, it's Whitby open up the gap another 2/10 of a second on Patswell. So Patswell under a little bit of pressure there now from Farkas. So Farkas was looking to get past Patswood to see if he can get onto the back there of Trevor Whitby, as we've got another one off here in the infield. So not too sure who that is. I can't see the number from this end. Kart number 85, the looks of it. So anyway, so we've got one out there. So open up a good lead now up front there is Trevor Whitby. So Trevor Whitby and under lots of pressure now is Patswood. So Patswood in cut number 74 has cut number 14 on Farkas all over the back of him. So Farkas needs to make a move there quickly, because joining this party very shortly is Paul Chimes doing a fantastic job. He got past Russell Velicott, who is fastest on track that time round. Is Velicott back there in position number 5 with a 52.7, as opposed to the leader with a 52.9, so 0.2 of a second, but he's sitting back there in position number 5, opening up the gap to nearly a second now is Peter Patswood, is Whitby over Patswood. So Patswood, he's doing a great job there in position number 2. Farkas has not been able to find a way past as they come into Hogan's corner, so doing a good job. Up front now is Trevor Whitby with nearly a 0.9 of a second lead, nearly a second lead there. And also a good job in their position number 2 is the cut number 74 of Peter Patswood. So Patswood holding his own there. So Farkas was giving him a little bit of trouble earlier on, but now looking to get into position number 3 is Chimes on Farkas. So Chimes making a good move. Oh no, not quite close enough as they come into Hospital Corner. So looking up front there is Whitby, who's opened up the gap to 1.1 seconds now. So 1.1 second of the Patswood. Patswood doesn't seem to be under as much pressure as he was earlier. And dropping back there now is Rudy Farkas, who's under pressure from Chimes for position number 4. So I think Chimes drops a wheel onto the back straight there as they make their way into the City of Coffs corner. So looking back there, positions number 4 and 5, looks like Chimes trying to make his way through. I think if Chimes can get past here quickly enough, he'll be able to get onto the back of Kart 74 and 14 and make a move for that final step of the podium for this heat. So up front there, Trevor Whitby doing a great job. You can see he's miles ahead now, so he's a 1.5 seconds ahead of the field. But the battle to watch there is his position number 4 and 5, as I think if Chimes can get past Farkas, which won't be an easy feat, he will be able to get onto the back of the 2 carts in front of him and put the pressure on for that position number 2. Anyway, looking back there, up front is Peter Patswood doing a good job up front. Farkas there in position number 2. So Farkas, Patswood back there. And looking to get closer is Chimes. So Chimes really needs to get past Farkas here as soon as he can, because he's going to run out of time with only 4 minutes and 53 seconds. There's still plenty of long time left. So that's the one that we think we're going to watch. So number 21 of it's Velicott. Sorry, I'm calling the wrong name later. So Velicott on back of Chimes. Chimes in the back of Chimes back of Bart. So it's Velicott who needs to get past Chimes there. Back in position number 4. So Paul Chimes doing a good job there. So it's Velicott. Velicott there in cart number 21 needs to make a way past Chimes to see if he can get onto the back of this group. Although it does look like that Chimes is getting closer to the back of Farkas. So they're going to work together probably to get onto the back of this little train here. So positions 2, 3, 4 and 5. Looking, making a good move on the inside there, but not close enough. Oh, and they're both taking each other out. The tyres hit there. So unfortunately, Chimes and Velicott are out of that little battle there. So they were looking good there for a little stage there to be able to get onto the back of that little battle group there. So it looks like it was a side by side and the tyres intertwined there a little bit. So, but moving into position number 6, ladies and gentlemen, is the oldest man in racing, cart number 57 of Winston Haywood. Look at Winston. Last year, Winston sat back there and just watched the nonsense in front of him unveil, and actually he won this race. So that's cart number 57. He is the oldest man in racing and not too far ahead of him, not doing a bad job. There we go, there's Winston Haywood. Just getting passed there by cart number 18. So Winston Haywood there, cart number 57. What a great driver he is. It's good to have him out here. Hopefully he can be here for a couple of years more. Maybe if by the time I turn 60, that's another couple of years, no, 3-4 years. Maybe he's still racing. I'm going to race against him again. So we used to race against each other back in the Pro Tour days, and we had a hell of a lot of fun. And I remember once he had his chassis bent, and it may or may not be my fault. Anyway, looking back there is Winston Haywood coming out to make a move up on cart number 10 there. So Haywood on Baxter, but not quite close enough. That's Winston Haywood. They're doing a great job there, looking quite racy. So that man there is in his mid-70s, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. He is no slouch out there, certainly doing a fantastic job. So well done to Winston Haywood. Looking up front there is Trevor Whitby, doing a good job. So Trevor Whitby with a 52.2 last time round. So he's doing a fantastic job. He's nearly 2 seconds ahead of Peter Patswell as I try to find where the leaders are, because I was watching Winston Haywood there. So they go past the start-finish line now. 74 there, park in 2, so I can pick them up now. So Farkas on the back of Patswell there, not close enough at this stage. Looks like Patswell has got a good pace there. They're both circulating around the same time. So Patswell last time around with a 52.298 and Farkas with a 52.285. So doing a good job there as those two karts. So as they come into starting to lap some karts now is kart number 32 of Trevor Whitby. This could help maybe Farkas get closer to Patswell there. So Farkas and Patswell going past the start-finish line, absolutely nothing between them, the 10th of a second, as they go up the back straight there into the bowl. So the blue lights are flashing for these karts that are getting lapped. These karts, other karts, would be the I'd say the 4SS Supermaxes. Anyway, looking up front, still quite speedy, is Trevor Whitby with 1.5 second lead. So he's lost a little bit of time. He got one off the track there, not too sure who that is. So coming into the infield now is our leader, kart number 32 of Trevor Whitby, who's just cruising around now, I'd say, with 21 seconds to go. Down past the start-finish line, still doing a good job as Patswell's opened up a little bit of a gap on Farkas, so that's probably worked against Farkas, that all that traffic there. The 4SSs, you can hear them, they've got a little bit of a different tone. They're a 4-stroke machine. They're circulating and the sprint carts go past them. Anyway, so good on them to be out there, the 4SSs. So if we can get some 4SS Supermax mediums next year, that'll be fantastic. Brought to you by Mid-Coast Trucks, and Tag Restricted Legends with the over 60s are brought to you by the Caribbean Motel. So up front there, ladies and gentlemen, we have the last lap board coming up. It's upside down again. So how would you pronounce that? How would you pronounce the last lap upside down? Oh no, he's got it the right way around now. So last lap showing there. So Trevor Whitby up front, Peter Patswell position number 2, Rudy Farkas position number 3. Where's my good mate Winston Haywood? Where's he going? He's dropped down to position number 12. What's happened to him? He must have had a little bit of a rest there. So Haywood back in position number 12. Up there in position number 5 is Bruce Goodwin. So he's a local here. He's the actual owner of the Caribbean Motel. So good to have him there. Not only a sponsor, but a racer. And you also, at other race meetings, you'll often find him in the canteen making hamburgers and helping out and volunteering around the place there. So, but a good friend there, Winston Haywood, as I said before, he's responsible for mowing the lawns and keeping the grounds in the good shape they are here. So if you see him out there, make sure you thank him. As a checkered flag flies, Trevor Whitby takes the win here in the 2026 Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown. Second place is Peter Patswell. Third place is Rudy Farkas. As they make their way around the corner, all dropping a wheel there is kart number 11. So Brucey Goodwin in position number 5. So well done, Brian Tabanor in position number 4. And well done to everybody there, everybody involved. It's great to see us. Winston Haywood, put your hands together for Winston Haywood. What a great race. It's good to have him out here And congratulations to him on still being out here racing and putting in a pretty good effort. Anyway, that's it for tag restrictive lights and 4 SS Supermax, and the legends there, they're over 60s, and they certainly don't fail to deliver.
The Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown are on this June-long weekend at CEX Raceway Coffs Harbour, celebrating 31 years of racing. Proudly endorsed by Jeff King Motors and sponsored by A1 Engine Tuning and Mechanical, BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs, Caribbean Motel and Mid-Coast Trucks and Isuzu.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're up to now the tag medium 50 to 59. So this is the Russell Grimson Perpetual Trophy. So these guys are actually racing for the Russell Grimson Trophy, another legendary members of our club who was involved in making the over 40s with Ian Brown is what it is today, and a long time member, and so these guys out there, the legends, are racing for the Russell Grimson Trophy. This is also brought to you by Jeff King Motors. So today, with over 39 years of experience in business, has grown substantially to become one of the largest new and used vehicle dealerships in the Mid-North Coast. Jeff King Motors proudly incorporates the service and supply of 4 major vehicle franchises, ensuring you are sure to find a vehicle to suit your needs from the great range of Mitsubishi, MG, Volkswagen, Subaru and JAC. Additionally, if you're looking for a used car in Coffs Harbour, look no further than Jeff King Motors. We have a wide selection of vehicles which are thoroughly inspected and provide warranty. Have a look at our used cars that have available. Jeff King Motors are proud sponsors of the Coffs Harbour Car Club and have been for many, many years. So it's great to have them on board again here for the and supporting the Russell Grimson 50 to 59 class. Anyway, up front there, car number 1, position number 1, car 74, Scott Gray, position number 2, number 35. Gav Whitmore, position number 3, 71. James Morrison, position number 4, 41. James Farmer, position number 5, number 83. Is Scotty Hargens, position number 6, number 91. Is Robbie Daniels, position number 7, car number 5 is Steve Johns as they make their way past the start finish line. Good start there from car number 74, and actually on the outside there, so it's anybody's race here. Scotty Gray as they make their way into the hospital corner. Looks like that Whitmore may have taken the lead there, as I can't see it's a bit too far, but let's look at the camera here. So 74, looks like Scotty Gray's in front with Whitmore in position number 2. So well done to Scott Gray there, being able to go. Oh, he's dropped the wheel there. What's happened there? I'm not too sure what's going on there, but he's dropped the wheel out there in the City of Coffs corner, which has allowed Whitmore to take the lead there. So looking back there, looks like Morrison into position number 3. Another one's dropped the wheel there at wide on the exit of Hargens corners. They make their way into the infield, so it might be a bit slippery out there, not too sure, but 2 carts dropping wheels left, right and centre as they come past the start finish line for the first time. It looks like it's Gavin Whitmore up there in position number 1 with cart number 35. So well done to Gavin Whitmore. Scotty Gray in the position number 2, Scott Hargens position number 3. So Scott Hargens has come from nowhere to jump up into position number 3. So that wasn't actually James Morrison, he's in position number 4. So Scott Hargens has been nowhere all weekend. He's usually quite fast here, but this is the time of the race that he usually rises to the top, and let's see if he's got a bit of pace on him here today to be able to get to the lead. So well done to Scotty Hargens and jump into position number 3. James Morrison won't be too happy about that because they're good mates, but they're fierce competitors out here on track, so you don't come here to come second, do you? Anyway, so up front there doing a great job is Gavin Whitmore, so I think he's going to be unleashed. He's going to be hard to beat from here. It's usually good if he's buried in the pack a little bit, so he has to work for it, but I don't think he's going to have to work for this one. That's just my feeling as he opens up already a half a second lap over Scotty Gray. So Gray up front there. Fastest on track is James Morrison, as you can see. He's right over the back there of Hargens. So Hargens is usually hard to get. Oh no, this time he's gotten past Hargens. No, Hargens trying to keep the inside line, but no. Good work there by Morrison, being able to take the position number 3 of Hargens into the bowl as they make their way out of the City of Coffs corner. So that's in positions 2 and 3. Looking up front there, doing a good job is Scotty Gray. James Morrison now moves into position number 3 with Scotty Hargens sitting back there in position number 4. A little bit farther back to Johns there, so a little bit of action back there in the pack, but we'll look up front here for now, see if this settles into something more interesting. So up front there, last time round is 0.5 of a second was Whitmore over Gray. This time round, I'd say that's a little bit bigger than that. It's 7/10, so I've been able to not only post the fastest lap, but open up his gap by 0.7 of a second already, with 7 minutes and 1 lap to go. So it's going to be a long race for everybody behind him. But doing a good job still is Scott Gray in position number 2. Morrison is second behind Scott Gray. So let's see if Morrison has got anything for Gray and be able to challenge for position number 2. But that gap there is actually quite large at this stage. So Morrison's been able to clear Hargens at this stage, but put 0.4 of a second on him there. Looking up front, doing a good job with 0.7 of a second lead is Gavin Whitmore with the fastest lap as he makes his way down into CEX corner, the final corner, down past the start-finish line, doing a good job up front there is Gavin Whitmore, showing everyone else how it's done. So, as I go past the start-finish line yet again, let's see what they've been able to muster up here. So open up for a second. So Whitmore was a second ahead of Gray, but closing down the gap is Morrison's picked up 0.3 of a second on Scott Gray for position number 2. So Morrison looking there, cart number 71 looking quite speedy, trying to catch cart number 74 Scott Gray, I should say. So Morrison being able to close 0.2 on the position number 2. So let's have a little bit of an eye on that one as Morrison looking quite speedy out there. Last time round fastest on track was Whitmore with a 52.293 and a second lead as he makes his way into the final corner, the CEX corner yet again. So doing a good job up here. Up front, car number 35 is Gavin Whitmore. So let's see the positions 2 and 3. James Morrison fastest on track this time round. You can see they've been able to close that gap on the lead on the car in front of him by another 0.2 of a second. So Morrison that time with a 52 flat being the fastest man on track, slightly faster than Gavin Whitmore. So Gavin Whitmore with a 52.073 and Morrison with a 52.062. So Morrison's Whitmore's not going to be under any trouble or any pressure. He's just going to run away with this one. But positions 2 and 3 are the ones that are of interest out there on track, with only what we got here, half a second between Morrison and Gray. So Gray, but that's less this time round as they come past the infield into CEX corner with 4 minutes and 47 seconds to go. So Morrison looking to close that gap and substantially has this time round. So Morrison looking to make the move into hospital corner. Has he got the legs? Yes, he has. A good move there by James Morrison to get past Scott Gray into hospital corner. So congratulations to him. So good move. So now he's moved into position number 2. So James Morrison up into position number 2 with Gavin Whitmore leading the way. Fastest lap last time round was to James Morrison again with a 52.028. So he's way faster than those carts around him. So even faster than the leader, but I don't think the leader's too fussed about lap times at this stage. I think he's just going to circulate, conserve his tyres, make sure that he is ready for the final, because he's been under a lot of pressure there from Morrison, but Morrison doesn't want to kick his tyres too much. So will Morrison just relax and sit back in position number 2 and save his energy for the final, or will he's going to try and close that gap? So up front there, the leader, so fastest again was those two leaders is James Morrison. So James Morrison with a 52.2 and Whitmore with a 52.3. But as I said, I don't think Whitmore's too fast at this stage with 3 minutes and 33 seconds and 1 lap to go, and the gap is 1.4 seconds. So up front there, doing a great job is Whitmore. So Gavin Whitmore up from Queensland Way. Yesterday was Queensland Day. I don't know if you guys know that I was watching the football and everybody told me on the TV there that it was Queensland Day. So don't know what that means, but yeah, maybe it's going to be Queensland Day for Whitmore here today. So as he goes past the start-finish line, Gavin Whitmore with a 52 flat, so 52.095, and Morrison with a 52.105. So not closing the gap at all. So still 1.4 seconds between the leaders here as they make their way into the bowl. So Scotty Gray back there in position number three, doing a good job. I would have thought Scott Hargens would have been pressuring him, but it doesn't seem to be at this stage. As we follow a little bit of battle pack here on the screen, we've got there. So James Farmer on Steve Johns. So let's they make their way in the infield there. Farmer and Johns. Good move on the inside there by Farmer on Johns, the cart number 41. So set him up quite nicely and just dived straight in there and made a great move there on the inside there in the infield. It's a difficult move to make that one there. As you look at the replay here, he's come out of there and he's just dived there, loaded the brakes, put his cut on the inside. Clean move. What a great move that was there by Farmer. Anyway, looking up at the head, the lead, it's what we got here. So it's still 1.4 seconds between first and second. Hargens and Gray is 1.5 seconds, so there's nothing much there to report. So as we pick up the leaders coming through the final corner. So last time round, Gray with a 52.124 and Morrison with a 52.128. So nothing between them. Fastest lap of the race goes to Gavin Whitmore, so he's certainly not relaxing out there. He's still pushing quite hard, opening up the gap to 1.7 seconds. So he's done a 52 flat. Morrison with a 52.2 and Gray with a 52.1. So Gray has closed that gap up ever so slightly to Morrison there. So not too sure what's if Morrison's just conserving at this stage or whether he's looking to, or whether Gray's just found some extra pace. As we pick up the leaders again, coming down there through the infield, car number 35 of Gavin Whitmore, just cruising around there. So last time around he did the fastest lap, he's 1.7 seconds ahead. Second position, James Morrison in cart number 71 with a 52.2. And Scott Gray been able to pick up a little bit of time on him again there with a 52. Morrison, sorry, 52.1. Able to respond, pardon me, with Gray dropping a tenth of a second there. So. But there's absolutely nothing between second and third in pace time, but it's just not close enough to do anything about it, is Scott Gray. Has Morrison just sat back and relaxed? Not too sure, but his lap time seems to be quite speedy still with a 52.187 against Gavin Whitmore with a 52.181, so nothing between the leaders there. But looking like closing the gap a little bit this time round is Scott Gray. He does look faster, but there's a last lap board is shown. And Morrison looking over his shoulder. Usually Morrison's card comes on late, so not too sure what's happening there. Anyway, they go past the start-finish line. Gray was 0.2 of a second faster than Morrison that time around. Gray with a 52.080, so pretty fast lap. He's that's quite speedy up there actually, 52.080. So up front there, doing it quite easily is Gavin Whitmore. Gray not close enough to Morrison. Morrison with a 52.258 last time around, so not too sure if he's just conserving or if he's got kart problems, but he's certainly slowed up compared to the kart in front of him. But Gray's too far behind to do anything about it at this stage. And they'll have to tune up the drivers and tune up the karts for the final as a checkered flag comes waving. So Gavin Whitmore takes the lead, takes the win in heat number 4 here for the 2026 Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown in the tag medium 50 to 59, brought to you by Jeff King Motors. So well done there to Gavin Whitmore. Took the lead and never looked back, so he's going to be very hard to beat, but we look forward to some good racing in the finals as they come up later on this afternoon.
The Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown are on this June long weekend at CEX Raceway Coffs Harbour, celebrating 31 years of racing. Proudly endorsed by Jeff King Motors and sponsored by A1 Engine Tuning and Mechanical, BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs, Caribbean Motel and Mid-Coast Trucks and Isuzu.
So we're having a little bit of a technical delay here with the lights, so they'll be starting very shortly. So that's been the delay there too. I've had my little bit of a hot drink here, so to help with the throat. So good to see me on camera there. Anyway, we're up there racing now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're out there racing now after that little short delay. So out on track now, we have the tag medium 40s to 49s. St. George Karting are the ones who are supporting this. So St. George Karting, one of the sponsors, have come on board to help with the paying of the wonderful live streaming that we have here today. So St. George Karting, now Kart. So St. George Karts now stock over 5,000 products lines up across the chassis, engines, components and accessories, which makes St. George Karting one of the largest suppliers and distributors in Australia and New Zealand. St. George Karting's international affiliation, global manufacturing facilities and strong buying power enables them to provide a compelling offer to both customers and trades, with customers getting affordable quality and distributors getting healthy margin. Everyone wins here at St. George Karting. So it's great to have St. George Karting on board as one of our sponsors. So thank you for coming on board, and thank you for the live timing. So St. George Karting's a wonderful sponsor here. Great to have them on board. Now, looking here at tag restricted mediums 40 to 49s is Kart 33, Jeremy Evans. Position number 2, 8 is Tim Ball. Position number 3 is 66, David Vogel. Number 4, 7, Shane Peterson. Position number 5, Kart number 80 is Fred Shepherd. Position number 6, Kart 56 is Pete Stella. Position number 7, Kart 44 is Scott Hyland. Position number 8, Kart number 39 is Joel Allingham. Position number 9, Kart number 93 is Chris Lusty. Position number 10, Kart 15 is Phil Radford. That's the top 10, ladies and gentlemen, make the pass to the start-finish line. Good start there. Position number 3 for Kart number 66 of David Vogel as they make their way up the start-finish line. Was he able to make that? A bit of a touch there. Vogel is came across there. Not too bit sure what happened there because they're in the shadows, but Vogel came across there on Tim Ball. The ball might have come across on Vogel. Oh yes, ball maybe came across there on Tim Vogel, which turned on him, and unfortunately that's put him back there a bit. So I dare say that ball probably had some steering damage to his kart there. If not, he'd be lucky to get away with that. Anyway, back to the leader there, Jeremy Evans. That was a good start there by Vogel, but anyway, looking back to the front here, let's see who's settled into what position there. Up front there in position, kart number 33 is Jeremy Evans, who's able to get away from all that stuff behind him. Position number 2 looks like Tim Ball is able to maintain that position. So Evans past us out there. Tim Ball, position number 2, and position number 3 is 66 of. Position number 3 is kart 80 of Fred Shepherd. So good start there by Jeremy Evans after a bit of an entertaining start there. Tim Ball, I'd be interested to see how his kart's going because there's a pretty big contact there, so he might have got away with that one. Up front there, doing a great job is Jeremy Evans, opened up a bit of a gap already. 7/10 last time round, so on the march is Tim Ball. So Tim Ball would like to close that gap, and not too far behind him is Fred Shepherd. So Shepherd doing a great job out there, kart number 80. Vogel now back in position at number 5 behind Brad Garrity. So Vogel now position number 4, get past Garrity that time around. So Vogel now on the march after that incident at the start there. So let's have a look here to see what can be done. So last time round, Jeremy Evans with a 0.8 of a second lead over Tim Ball. So Ball has in turn a 0.8 of a second lead over Fred Shepherd. So Vogel's the one to watch, I think, who's 2 seconds behind Shepherd. Let's see if he's got anything in that car to get back into that leading pack with 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go plus a lap. So he's got plenty of time. So up front there is Jeremy Evans. So Jeremy Evans with 8/10 of a second last time round on the lead over Tim Ball. Tim Ball seems to have closed that gap as they go past the start-finish line now. Up into Hospital Corner. So Tim Ball, 8/10 of a second still, so he hasn't been able to close that gap at all. So Tim Vogel back there in position number 4 is still 2.4 seconds behind Shepherd. So those gaps seem to have settled in now. So as Evans makes his way into Tyrrell Corner here. Tyrrell into the infield. So on his way through the infield here. What a great corner this Coffs Harbour infield is. It's unique to the club, and it's great racing out there. So you get that wrong, you get the next corner wrong, and you get this long run up to Hospital Corner wrong as well. So this time round, Jeremy Evans with a 52.275, fastest lap on track. Tim Ball with a 52.298, so absolutely nothing between them. Fred Shepherd with a 52.5, but Vogel being able to close that gap down by 3/10 of a second, or 2/10 of a second, I should say, on Shepherd. So kart number 4 on track. Let's see if he's going to be able to make up any time on kart number 3 or Fred Shepherd. So Vogel sitting back there in position number 4, making his way into into Hagen's Corner now. But those gaps seem to have settled in place. Jeremy Evans doing a great job up front, so he had pole position and has been able to keep a clean set of hills there and just drive away quite comfortably up front there. Let's have a look here, see what the timers have done this time around. So Ball, that gap to Ball is now 1.1 seconds. So Jeremy Evans again with the fastest lap of the race, 51.997. Tim Ball with a 52.2. He's the second fastest out there on that lap. And looking back the field there, let's see if Vogel's been able to close the gap on Shepherd. It doesn't look like it. It looks like they've done very similar lap times. So Vogel ever so slightly faster, but nothing to really mention. Both of them posting 52.3s. Anyway, looking up front as the leader comes into the CEX corner. So, and past the start finish line. Jeremy Evans doing a fantastic job up front there. Jeremy Evans with exactly the same time, so 52 flat that time round, so doing a good job. Tim Ball with the fastest lap of the race now with a 51.990, so 51.990. Shepherd with a 52.4, and Vogel there now with a 52.2, so being able to pick up 2/10 of a second that time round on David Vogel. So position number 4 is the one I'm talking about there, so it's karts number 66 and karts number 80. So that's the one that's going to close up, see if Vogel can get on the back of Shepherd and make a race for position number 3 as they make their way past the start-finish line. Looking up front there, kart number 33 of Jeremy Evans, as that lead has dropped down substantially. So Tim Ball really on the march now. He's been able to close that gap there by another couple of tenths of a second. So that was down to 1.1 seconds and now down to 8/10 of a second between the leaders, Evans and Ball. So Evans, don't know if he's just cruising around at the moment, but Ball looking very pacey out there. So let's see if that gap can close with 3 minutes and 22 seconds plus 1 lap to go. So up front there, let's keep an eye on the front runners here with Evans up front. Evans being followed by Tim Ball. So Ball really closing up on the back of Evans, and you can see that on track. Last time around it was 8/10 of a second. I reckon that's a lot closer this time around as they come past the start finish line. Good exit there by Tim Ball just on the edge of the track there. So could have dropped the wheel but didn't. So he picked up 2/10 of a second on the leader. The leader doing a good job with a 51.961. Which was the fastest lap, but quickly eclipsed by Tim Ball with a 51.7. So Ball picks up another 2/10 of a second on the leader that time round, dropping that lead to 6/10. So you can see that on track as they make their way in the exit there of City of Coffs corner, and they come back into the motorbike corner there. So into Hagen's corner. There's absolutely nothing between them now. So let's see if Tim Ball can close that gap even more. So Evans took a really commanding lead. He was 1.1 seconds ahead, and Ball is now come to life now. Last time round, there was 0.6 of a second between Evans and Ball, positions 1 and 2 as they go past the start-finish line. Let's see what that's dropped to now, or if it's increased or maintained. So Evans with a 52 flat, and Ball with a 51.8. So another tenth of a second really there. So that gap up front now has dropped to half a second. So 0.5 of a second between 1 and 2, and you can see on track as they come into the city of Coffs corner. And Ball looking a lot closer this time round as they come down into the motorbike corner, down into the back straight, into Hagen's corner. So into Hagen's outer Tyrrell. And you got Ball now really closing the gap back there with, what have we got? We've got a minute 25 plus a lap. So Evans just needs to keep these lines clean here. Ball will get to him, but the next job will be to get past him. So Ball really on the march here. You can see his body language in his kart there. He really wants to get onto the back of Evans, and that time round another tenth of a second faster than the leader and the fastest lap. No, it wasn't. Last time it was the fastest lap at 51.7. This time at 51.8. But that gap has now dropped to 0.4 of a second. But you can see on track that Ball all over the back of Evans now. So Evans is going to have some company very shortly here. He's had a quiet run for most of the race as they make their way down now into the back straight near into Hagen's corner. So doing a good job up front there is Evans, but Ball, who's come from nowhere, he was 1.1 seconds behind the leader now with the 32 seconds to go. So he's going to have plenty of time to get right on his rear bumper and see if he can get past him as they go past the start-finish line now. So that time round, Tim Ball with a 51.8 and Jeremy Evans with a 51.9, Jeremy Evans with 52 flat. So that gap now is 0.3 of a second. But as you can see on track, ladies and gentlemen, I think he's going to be right up behind his rear bumper as it comes past the start-finish line next time round as they make their way into the city of Coffs corner. Both of them looking quite racy there. A little bit too much curve there, I think, by Ball, and they exit of City of Coffs corner as they come into the Hagen's corner now. So into Hagen's, Ball all over the back of Evans as the last lap board will be shown this time round. So a little bit wide on the exit there was Evans from the outer Tyrrell as they make their way into the infield, down into CEX corner, past the start-finish line. This is the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Does Ball have anything for Jeremy Evans? So Evans looking to maintain his lead. Fastest time that round was Ball with a 51.7 and Evans with a 51.8. So Evans certainly not a slouch out there, but Ball just has that little bit more of a pace on him. Not too sure he's got enough corners to do it, but as they come into the City of Coffs corner, right behind him now, you can see there's only 0.2 of a second between the leaders. So I just don't think he's close enough. His next opportunity is going to be see if he can get him on the brakes into Hagen's, but he's just that little bit too far back, closing the gap ever so slightly, but not close enough to do anything about it. I think Evans is going enough to win this race as they come into the infield for the final time in the heat number 4, down into the final corner, CX corner. Well done there to Jeremy Evans as he comes past the start-finish line, takes the checkered flag. Great racing by both of these guys in front. Tim Ball coming from 1.1 seconds behind to just be pipped at the final post. And the final lap there was the fastest lap by Jeremy Evans with a 51.723. So well done there to Jeremy Evans, who taking the lead in Heat 4 for the 2026 Australian Kart Masters there, brought to you by St. George Karting. So congratulations to Jeremy Evans, and I look forward to a great race there in the final with Tim Ball. If he can have that pace, then two will be battling for the lead there, and it should be a good ding-dong battle. Anyway, congratulations, Jeremy Evans, and we look forward to the finals. So out on track, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 4SSs. So the 4SSs is the 4 strokes. We have the lights and heavies out there. So the lights are brought to us by Parolin. So Parolin were one of the sponsors who brought the able to bring us the live streaming. So great to have them on board. Parolin Australia is the official importer and distributor of Parolin karts in Australia, proudly representing one of the world's most respected kart manufacturers is Parolin. More than just a distributor, Parolin Australia is committed to building a genuine karting community, proud to support drivers, teams and dealers across the country, providing a guidance, product knowledge and ongoing backing to help strengthen the Parolin presence in every level of competition. So thank you to Parolin, and it's great to have you guys on board, and thank you for your support with the live streaming. BDM bring us the heavies. So BDM, what a great sponsor they have. They've been on board for ages. So about BDM, they're BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs. BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs is your trusted service centre. BDM service inspects and repairs heavy vehicles of all kinds. As a locally owned and operated business, BDM care about their community. What BDM want is the best for individual and commercial owners in the area, which is why BDM focus on being the one-stop shop. BDM provide heavy vehicle service for drop-ins, appointments, as well as 24-hour breakdown service. Whenever you need heavy vehicle services in Wauchope, Taree, Kempsey or Port Macquarie or surrounding areas, you know who to call, BDM. So BDM Heavy Vehicle Repairs. Great to have them as a sponsor here. And they are often racing here in the 4 strokes. So we got two groups here, ladies and gentlemen. We got the heavies and we got the lights as they make their way into the bowl. So leading there is Anthony Lusty, who's doing a great job there earlier today, all weekend so far, I should say. In kart number 23, Mark Walker, who's also done a great job in kart number 24. Position number 3 there is Justin Eagle. Number 6 is kart number 6 is Alan Luff. Dean Nommenson doing a great job there. He's been a supporter of the club and supporting this event during the quiet times, and it's great to see him out there. And now good to see a good group of 4SSs out here too, ladies and gentlemen. I know it may take a bit of a joke about the 4SSs, but they are a good class, and it's good to have them out here and being part of the 2026 Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown. So Lusty, the fastest out there, doing a good job. Let's see Nommenson up to position number 4. So Dean Nommenson in kart number 93 up to position number 4. So it'd be good to see him have a good result here this weekend. Hopefully he can make the podium. Anyway, it'd be good to see him if he can. And up front there with a massive lead of 1.1 seconds already is Anthony Lusty. As I've said all along, these machines are a 4-stroke machine, so they don't have the power and the speed of a 2-stroke engine. So they're all about momentum. As soon as you lose a bit of momentum, bump into another kart or get onto the other kart or whatever, you lose a fair bit of momentum. It gets them a while to get them back up to speed. So it's all about being really smooth with these karts and keeping the momentum going. So as they come down into the final corner, you'll see the one to watch is the leader. The way he does it is very, very smooth. Anthony Lusty there in kart number 23 as he comes up past the start-finish line, makes his way up to Hospital Corner, and you'll see how smooth he is behind the wheel, and no jerking, no massive turns of the steering wheel. He's set up that kart beautifully, and he's actually driving it magnificently. So he's already got 1.8 second lead over the leaders, over the rest of the pack, I should say. So Anthony Lusty, very smooth out there. Spreads out there. So Anthony Lusty is leading the 4SS lights. Let's see the heavies. Let me just do a bit of adjustment of my class on my computer here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the senior heavies that I'm talking about. Lusty. It's the lights. We got Terry Pryor with a 1 minute flat, and Brad Fanning in position number 2, kart number 11. So if you look at their lap time, so the lights there, we've got Terry Pryor with a 59 second lap, and I would suspect that Lusty would be, he's at 58.8, so now opened up his lead to 2.8 seconds, nearly 2.9 seconds over the pack there. Second position is Mark Walker, so his fastest lap is a 59.8, where Lusty's fastest lap is a 58.8, so it's a second between first and second, their fastest lap time. So doing a good job up front there is Anthony Lusty, very smooth. As you can see his lines there, he takes very good lines, just turns the kart in nicely. The kart just turns beautifully. There's no major jerking of the steering wheel. You watch his hands on the steering wheel, he just turns it once and off he goes. So once of these karts, if you start tugging on the steering wheel, you do lose all momentum, and it's hard to get a bit of pace out of it. So up to the hospital corner he goes again. That time round with a 3.2 second lead over Mark Walker. So Walker in position number 2, doing a good job there. Justin Eagle in position number 3, and Dean Nommensen just a bit back there. So let's see if Dean can get on the back of Eagle and maybe challenge for the podium. So Nommensen is 0.8 of a second behind position number 3. So as they come into Harbour's corner. So let's see if Nommensen, so what was he, 0.8 of a second. His last lap time was a minute flat. Eagle was just 59.9, so there's nothing between those two. Let's see if Nommensen, a bit of a untidy on the exit there of the infield. And as you can see, once you make a little bit of mistake, you lose a bit of momentum, and the karts behind him who didn't make mistakes, so kart number 11, he's in a different class, goes past him there. So Nommensen is 4th in class, 5th on field. So up front there is Lusty with a 3.6 second lead, 59.439. Just cruising around, doing a good job. The Mark Walker and Justin Eagle is the closest battle pack we can see there. Where's Nommensen? Dean Nommensen, he's now 1.5 seconds behind Justin Eagle, so Eagle is under no pressure at this stage. So Dean Nommensen was overtaken by one of the light karts there of 66, has dropped down to position number 4. Anyway, up front there is 59.2 to Anthony Lusty that time round. So he's been able to increase the lead to 3.8 seconds. So I'm not too sure what he will increase his lead to. 8.8 is his fastest lap time today, but I know they've been down to 8.2 since I think it was like Nommensen was banging his kart there for some reason. And one up there mowing the lawn. There's always a 4SS mowing the lawns out here. Anyway, so doing a good job up front is Anthony Lusty with 3.8 second lead over Mark Walker. Justin Eagle there in position number 3. Dean Nommensen there in position number 4. Finish line was Anthony Lusty, that time with a 58.7, which is the fastest lap of the race. Let's see if he can get it down close to where his fastest lap time, which was a 58.2. And doing a good job up there. Where's Nigel Ward? Nigel Ward being able to make his way up to position number 4 from nowhere. Dean Nommensen, he must have been one behind the lawn earlier up there. So Ward now up into position number 4. Another one of our local members here from just up north. I think he was up Yandal Way or something like that. But he's one of our members, and he's great to have him out there racing in this group as well. So Nigel Ward up to position number 4. He's also been a big supporter of this event over the years, and it's good to see him out there having a good time and see if he can get himself into position number 3. So Ward there in kart number 19. Past the start finish line, Anthony Lusty with a 59 flat that time. So still in the lead there. He's now got a 5-second lead over Mark Walker. Eagle with a is 1.1 seconds behind, and Ward is 2.4 seconds behind Eagle. So with a minute 27, 26, 25 to go, with one lap added to that time. So will they be able to finish this lap time with a few corners to go? With no, it'll be round once again, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe once again and once more as they go past the start finish line with, let's see, 1 minute 8.7. So yes, so unfortunately the leader will be going around this time plus one time more. They may call the last lap board before that, I'm not too sure. So there's a less than a minute to go. So the leader's Anthony Lusty is circulating in 59 seconds, so he will go past the start finish line, but I'm not too sure if the officials will call last lap. They could call last lap. They might lose 4 seconds or 3 seconds out of the race, but it's going to be touch and go. There'll be an extra lap, I'd say, after this. The leader now 5.1 seconds ahead of Mark Walker. Walker with a 59.625 and Lusty with a 59.645. So it's the first time he hasn't done the fastest lap over the field this time around. As they come past start finish line, and unfortunately he's been too quick. So around he goes again. So it won't be last lap until next time round. So they could have made it. That's 1 second. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes are up. So they'll go around and then one more time after this. So up in front there is Anthony Lusty over Mark Walker and Justin Edge. Nigel Ward there in position number 4. Car number 88 is Terry Pryor, who's the first in the lights, and Brad Fanning is he's out. Brad Fanning is out with the DNF, so he's retired. But up front is Terry Pryor with where is he on field? Let's have a look, see where he is as far as Terry Pryor running there in position number 3 on track. So he's third on track, first in class. So as the last lap board is shown, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last lap. Lusty with a 59.7, Walker with a 59.6, closing that gap. Pryor with a 59.1, Ward with a 1 minute. So let's go by class here. Nigel Ward has jumped into position number 3, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't watching that, so it looks like we've had a retirement. There's Justin Eagle out there. So Nigel Ward now in position number 3. So well done to Nigel Ward as they come past the start finish line with one of the last carts going past. The checkered flag will be flying here. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Nigel Ward being able to move up into position number 3. I didn't see that on track, but congratulations to him. He was fairly well back in the pack there. So he might be able to challenge the leader later on. I don't think so, because his fastest time was a 59.6 and the leader's a 58.7. Anyway, congratulations to Anthony Lusty taking the lead, taking the win here in the 2026 Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown. So well done to Anthony Lusty, and also well done to kart number, who we got here, number 88 there, of Terry Pryor for taking the 4SS senior lights out. So well done. Looking forward to a very exciting race later on today, finals, and good luck and well done to everyone who is involved in that race. have the tag restricted heavy and tag restricted ladies. So tag restricted heavy brought to you by IKD, Australia's largest direct importer of stockers of karting and motor racing equipment. International Karting Distributors supplies premium karting and motor racing products to racers at every level, from first-time competitors to second to seasoned professionals. At IKD you can count on reliable service and fast same-day dispatch, so you're always ready to race. Backed by a passionate, experienced team, they're ready to help you find the right setup and get the most out of your racing. So IKD, another one of the sponsors who come on board here to help with the live streaming. So great to have IKD on board. Out there and track is, and tag restricted ladies is brought to you by Gecko Solar. So for all your solar needs, make sure you contact Gecko Solar. Tag restricted heavy is out there. So in position number 1, Kart 31 is Brendan Goff. Position number 2, Kart 81 is Tim Davis. Position number 3, Kart 24 is Craig Simpkins. Position number 5, Kart number 68 is Scoot Dalton Kirby. Position number 6, Kart 13 is Jared Charles. Position number 7, Kart 25 is Andrew Tester. Out there in restricted ladies is Kart number 1 is Stephanie Duffy, who's been very fast. Teresa Lusty was good yesterday too. He made a mistake on the infield and unfortunately lost the lead there to Duffy. And then in kart number 3, position number 3, kart 90 is Jodie Robinson as they make the start there. And a good clean start there for kart number 31 of Brendan Goff. Falling into position number 2 is Tim Davis as we watch for the ladies start here as they come into the final corner, CX corner, ready for a start, and they're off and they're racing. Good start there for kart number 3 of Stephanie Duffy, who's been very quick all weekend. In fact, her times have been the second or third fastest on track, including all races there, so she is quite fast out there. So good to see how she goes later on today. But as I said yesterday, Teresa Lusty was up front there, leading the ladies, and they made a mistake in this very infield corner here. The City Coffs corner. Looking up front here, ladies and gentlemen, under all sorts of pressure is Tim Davis there from Craig Simpkins. So Simpkins there in position number 3, trying to make a move on Davis. So position number 1 goes to Brendan Goff, 2 goes to Tim Davis. Position number 3, Craig Simpkins. Position number 4 is Scoot Dalton Kirby, who's again been one of the big supporters here during the we call it the COVID times, the tougher times, and so it's good to see him here with a bigger field and doing a great job out there, and hopefully he can get himself a podium. Jared Charles there, position number 5. Looking at the front of the ladies, it's got obviously Stephanie Duffy there with a 58.8, her fastest lap time, but that'll 56.8 I should say. That time will come down. Looking up front there, ladies and gentlemen, we have Brendan Goff, followed by Tim Davis. So Davis pulling away there now from Simpkins. So Davis closing that gap on Goff. It's only 0.3 of a second behind as they make their way into the city of into the bowl. It's a long weekend. Anyway, so down into the bowl, out of the bowl, into the City of Coffs corner. Looking racy there is Tim Davis, who is fastest on track, and his fastest time with a 53.8. So 0.3 of a second last time round he was behind Brendan Goff. So Goff up front there coming into Hagen's corner. Close behind him is Davis. So Davis looking to get onto the back bumper there of Goff and see if he can get past him. So some good racing here. You can see there's actually closed in quite substantially there through that tight pits. Is that gearing or is that just better driving as they come out of the final corner? A good run there by Davis out of that final corner. Fastest on track is actually position number 3 of Craig Simpkins. So Simpkins looking to make a move or get closer to this little front battle gap. So group I should say. So this should be good if these 3 start battling for the lead. Could leave door opening there for Scoot Dalton Kirby, who's not too far behind them anyway. So the front runners there, so fastest was Simpkins with a 53.6, Davis with a 53.7, and Goff the leader with a 53.8. So let's see if they can close up this gap up front here and make up for some good racing as they make their way out of Tyrrell Corner. A little bit of a too much of a mistake. A bit of a slide there from Davis. So Davis really pushing the cart hard as they come out of the City of Coffs corner. This is a crucial corner, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't get this corner right, you don't get the run all the way up the hill here. So you're looking up here. So a good run there by all three of those front runners. Fastest that time round was again cart number 3, position number 3, cart 24 of Craig Simpkins. So Simpkins fastest the last 2 laps with a 53.97, so 0.3 of a second faster than the cart in front of him of Tim Davis of a 53.6. Brendan Goff also with a 53.6 up front there, holding firm. Looking back here at the ladies' event, so Stephanie Duffy there with a 53.8. So if you look at her lap times, they're actually quite good, and she could be mixing it with those front runners there. But looking up front here, closing the gap this time, you can see on field there, the cart number 81 and Tim Davis a lot closer this time round. Needs a good exit out of the final corner. Not a good exit that time by Tim Simpkins, but you can see Brendan Goff fastest on track that time round, so he's responded with a 53.2. Davis with a 53.3, and Craig Simpkins made a mistake out of that final corner. He was a little bit too shallow, which cost him a bit of time, so he did with a 53.6. Let's have a look at Stephanie coming past the start-finish line now of Stephanie Duffy, and she posted her time that time round was a 53.8. Lusty fastest on track that time round for the ladies. Lusty with a 53.847. So a bit of consistency there for Lusty, and she can be more well and truly running in the top 3 or 4 carts totally. Anyway, Brendan Goff has been able to respond, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, on track. He's been opening up a little bit of a gap. Good exit there from both Goff and Davis out of that final corner. So good run up to the back straight there. Goff again been able to be the fastest lap that time round with a 52.2, opening up 0.2 of a second on second place of Tim Davis. Craig Simpkins sitting back there, and we're watching brief with a 53.5. Back there to scoot Dalton Kirby with a 54.4. So he's doing a good job back there in position number 4. But up front there is where the interest is at this stage. But actually fast times there. So this time round, Stephanie Duffy with a 53.6. So that's a pretty good lap time there from her. So she could doing a good job leading the way there. She's 1.1 seconds fast ahead of Teresa Lusty, and Jodie Nommenson back there with a position number 3 for the ladies. So doing a good job. It'd be good to be able to grow the ladies event next year. So if you've got a card and you want to come out here and you're over 35, don't worry, you don't have to tell us your age, we'll just guess. And you can come out and join this group of ladies, and some really good racing out here, a lot of fun. It's a good weekend, and it'd be good to have that ladies group grow to a much bigger class next year as the years go on. Anyway, up front there we have Brendan Goff. So he's 0.4 of a second ahead of Tim Davis, but that gap seems to have closed down again. So as they come and make their way through the infield now, so that gap up front there is certainly closed down again. So it's cart number 31 of Brendan Goff, and Tim Davis is looking a little bit pacey there again. That was 0.4 of a second. I reckon that's a lot closer this time round as I go past the start-finish line. And Tim Davis fastest lap of the race with a 51.177, and been able to take a 1/10 of a second out of Goff. So Goff going to be under a little bit of pressure here. Is he just relaxed, or is that what he's got? So let's have a look here. Tim Davis. So let's look at the lead. Tim Davis in position number 2, cart 81, down through the City of Coffs corner. As they make their exit out of City of Coffs corner, down past the motorbike corner, down into Hagen's corner into Tyrrell's. So 2 minutes and 1 lap remaining. Looks like Goff's been able to open up that gap ever so slightly, but you look into the infield here, this is where Davis is a little bit quicker, so maybe gearing, I'd say, maybe the gearing's a little bit different here, because as they come past the start-finish line, up back to turn 1 to Hospital Corner, you can see that Davis has got nothing for Goff there. Last time round, Goff with a 53.4 and 53.3, and Davis with a 53.4, so I've been able to open up that gap ever so slightly. nothing between the two of them at this stage. As they come into motorbike corner, doesn't look like that gap has shrunk a lot, but I think this is where the infield here is where he's a lot quicker here is Davis over Goff, and you can see that, and I think that'll be gearing there, to be perfectly honest, because the lines are very similar. You can see he does close that gap up in through the infield here, the tighter stuff, so that'll be gearing, but then as soon as he gets up out of here, good exit there, a little bit tight actually, both similar exits out of final corner, but you can see he's got nothing for him at the top of the hill there. So fastest lap that time round was from Brendan Goff with a 53 flat over a 53.2, so half a second lead now is Goff over Davis. So Davis may have given up the ghost and maybe looking to save his energy and his tyres for the final here, so fight another day. But up front there doing a fantastic job is Brendan Goff. Stephanie Duffy, let's have a look at her times there. She's a 53.5. So that's fantastic lap times there by Stephanie Duffy. And Teresa Lufty also with a 53.8. So good work there by the ladies. So, and Jodie Normanson back there in position number 3 and Kart number 90. So good work by all those three ladies. And it'd be great, as I said, to have those classes, for this class, the ladies class, grow over the next few years. As they come past the start-finish line, no, I've got the wrong ones there. That's car number 88 of 68, I should say, is Scoot Dalton Kirby. So doing a good job up there, Scoot, in position number 4. And Stephanie Duffy coming through the CX corner now. Let's see what lap time she can post here. So doing a good job up front there. Stephanie Duffy with a 53.87 and Teresa Lusty with a 54.1, so doing good lap times out there. 53.9 I should say, Teresa Lusty, so both in the 53, so good work there. So the last lap board will be shown here to the leader of Brendan Goff, who's quite comfortably up in front now. It looks like that Tim Davis gave it all he had and they just decided he's going to relax and fight for the final. So 1.2 second lead now. Davis is behind Goff with Brendan Goff with a 53.2, Davis with a 53.5, Craig Simpkins with a 54 flat. Third fastest on track that time round was actually Stephanie Duffy. So and fourth fastest was Teresa Lusty, I should say. As we look here, as the flag is flying now for last lap board shown, and we're going to have last lap board show. Congratulations there, well done to Brendan Goff, Tim Davis position number 2, Craig Simpkins position number 3, so well done to him there, and well done to Brendan Goff as we wait for the ladies to make their way past the start finish line. Scoot Dalton Kirby there in position number 4. And so Stephanie Duffy coming back, taking the checkered flag. Congratulations to Stephanie Duffy, doing a great job there. Her fastest lap time with a 53.523. Teresa Lusty in position number 2, and Jodie Normanson in Kart number 90, not last on track and doing a good job there, getting past Andrew Tester as they come past the start finish line. Congratulations there, well done there to all involved. Actually, fastest lap for the ladies goes to Teresa Lusty, so with a 53.2, which is the fourth fastest lap on track. So well done to her. So a little bit of consistency from Teresa, and she can certainly be up there battling for the lead with Stephanie. So it's good to see them out there. A little bit of experience. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, is the one that we're looking forward to, that everybody comes to watch, is the KA3 Masters. So KA3 Masters next up. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Heat 4 for the 2026 Australian Kart Masters honouring Ian Brown. And we are here for our premier event. This is the Green Plate event, and it's great to see so many karts out there on the field. And this is brought to you by A1 Engine Tuning. A1 Engine Tuning are your performance workshop servicing the Mid-North Coast, specialising in ECU, dyno tuning and mechanical. They don't just do tuning. With 3 fully qualified mechanics, they can look after all your vehicle needs. As I said to you, ladies and gentlemen, I get my cars serviced and fixed up there whenever I need to, and they do a fantastic job. Good price, honest people, and you won't find a better mechanical shop anywhere in the Mid-North Coast. So congratulations to A1 Engine Tuning for being part of the 2026 Australian Kart Masters. So up front there, ladies and gentlemen, in kart number 58 is Brent Reading. Position number 2, kart number 20, Kip Foster. Position number 3, kart 68 is Chris Walton. He's come from nowhere to be up there. Position number 4, kart number 23 is Matthew Walters. Position number 4, kart 14, Lee Nicolau. Number 6, kart number 18 is Nathan Mills. Number 7, kart 48 is Jess Golding. Number 8, kart 35 is Gavin Whitmore. Well done to him moving up that car. Number 9, kart number 6 is Sam Houston. Number 10, kart number 18 is Jean-Pierre Morita. Position number 11, kart 22 is Regan Payne. Position number 12, kart 13 is Simon Minton. Position number 13, kart 34 is Stephen Scooble. Position number 14, kart number 32 is Trevor Whitby. Position number 15, kart 39 is James McLean. There's Position number 16, kart number 3 is Ben Kilsby. Position number 17, 33 is Jeremy Evans. Position number 18, number 7 is Anthony Chiazzo. As they have a good start here, as they come past the start-finish line, even a good start there was from the outside of Kip Foster, but looks like Walton might be able to make his way into position number 2. Is he close enough to make that stick as they come down into the bowl? Looking quite racy up front there, but a great start there by Foster. By Kip Foster there, so good work there. So Foster leading as they look at the track there as they make their way into the two-wheel corner, looking quite racy there. In position number 2 is kart number 20 of Foster. So up front there we do have Reading followed by Foster. So Foster Reading with a great start. Foster with a good start. Walton there. And so we have a spinner back there. Kart number 22 of Regan Payne on the entry to the exit of the CX corner. Looking up front, that's where the action is. We've got Brent Reading followed by Kip Foster. So Reading and Foster. This is going to be a good battle here as Reading make their way into the City of Coffs corner. Doing a good job up front there still is Brent Reading. Second position is Kip Foster, but looking further afield, we've got Chris Walton, Lee Nicolau Walters, Mills. That's going to be a ding-dong battle there for position number 3. So still 2 battle packs here. So battle pack number for 1 and 2, and then position number 3 is going to be quite interesting as this race goes on with 8 minutes and 20 seconds plus 1 lap to go. Sitting position number 2 is Kip Foster as they make their way out of CX corner. A little bit of debris there on the exit, but I don't think it's in the way there. Good exit by both Foster and Reading out of that final corner. That's a critical corner, a crucial corner, that one there, as they make their way into the bowl now for the second time. So into the bowl, leading the way is Reading. Fastest on track was Brent Reading with a 51.931, and it's Kip Foster with a 51.974. Nicolau at 51.952. So it means nothing at this stage as the karts are looking quite racy here early stages. Up front there, so Foster looking for a way past Reading. Reading has done a great job all weekend to be up front there and leading the way as they make their way into the infield. Down into CX corner. Doing a good job there is Reading. So, we've got a spinner there. Don't know what cut that is as I keep an eye up front there. So we have one spin there into the final corner. So we'll see what happened there if there's a replay available. As they watch the leaders here at this stage, there's nothing between Reading and Foster. Foster fastest on track that time round. So Foster with a 51.6 as opposed to a 51.6 from Reading. So nothing between the two leaders, a 51.6 5 versus a 51.64. Anyway, getting back to the leaders here, and they're just coming into Tool corner. So they make their way into Tool. There's nothing between positions 1, 2, and 3, looking to close that gap and get onto the back of this little battle pack as he's breaking away from Walton. That is from Nicolau from Walton. As they make their way into the final corner, past the start-finish line. Nothing between positions 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's anybody's race at this stage. So positions, that's Reading, Foster, Nicolau, Walton and Waters. Fastest on track was Brett Reading that time round with a 51.469. According to our calculations here on the screen, it says 0.2 of a second, but I don't think it is that. Anyway, having a little bit of a breather up there. Looks like Reading on Foster, but I don't think he's going to be breathing too much. Anyway, up front there, did a good job is Brent Reading, followed by Kip Foster. Foster looking for a way past. So Foster there, he's been very fast all weekend too, but Reading doing a great job. Waters, I should say, being very fast. He's back down to position number 5, so interesting to see how he moves up to the field as this race progresses with 5 minutes and 48 seconds to go. So Kip Foster was instrumental in making this event happen, so he's keen to get this green plate, the inaugural green plate here, but he was racing against some of the youngsters here at AKC earlier on this year, and as you see a move there back in the field, it looks like it was Waters on Walton. Anyway, so yeah, Kip Foster was instrumental in making this event happen, having the green plate here, and he was racing AKC against the youngsters. I think he was finding it easier against them than he was against these old dogs. Anyway, doing a good job up front there is Brent Reading. So fastest on track is Kip Foster with a 51. Computer just. So Kip Foster with a 51.442. So nothing between those two. It says 0.2 of a second. That's what 0.2 of a second looks like. I think it's a bit closer than that as they come past the start-finish line. So fastest that time round on track looks like it might have been Kip Foster. So Foster with a 51.504 and Reading with a 51.522. So absolutely nothing between the leaders as they come into the bowl for the second time with 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go. So the leaderboard is Reading, Foster, Nicolau, Waters and Walton. So Waters did get past Walton that track that lap before as they come into Harbour's corner. I think that if anybody blinks here, that's where the mistake will happen. That's anybody. I think that Foster can get Reading here. Reading's doing a great race here. Not putting a foot wrong as it comes out in the great exit there by Reading from the CX corner. As you can see, it gives them a good run up to the hospital corner. So that is a crucial corner, that CX corner. Doing a good job up front there. Brent Reading with the fastest lap of the race with a 51.415. Kip Foster with a 51.440, Nicolau with a 51.476 as they come into the city of Coffs corner. A lot closer this time round is Foster on the back of Reading, so right behind him, that at 0.2 of a second. That looks like a tenth, if anything, as they come into the. We've got a bit of a spin up there in. A couple of carts going everywhere up there into the bowl. But anyway, looking back at the front here, more interestingly, is cart number 58 of Brent Reading, followed quite closely. I think Kip Foster would have been faster this lap as they go past the start finish line. And Reading up front there with a 51.43. And yes, Kip Foster now with the fastest lap of the race with a 51.376. So Foster, can he find a way? Just can't get close enough to make a challenge. There's just that little gap there. There's always a tenth or 0.2 of a second between them. He can't get onto that rear bumper, but you feel if he can get onto that rear bumper, he can probably make a dive right here into Hagen's corner, or get a good exit out of the final turn up into go side by side into Hospital corner. But it looks like this time round Reading's been able to open up a little bit of a gap with 2 minutes and 27 seconds to go. Is Foster having a little bit of a rest to make his final charge with a couple of laps left as they go past the start finish line? Doing a good job up front there is Brent Reading. He would have been fastest that time round with a 51.250. Fastest lap of the race was Reading there, so responded to Kip Foster's and put 0.2 of a second on him. And you can see that on track there, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting there quite nicely in position number 3 is Lee Nicolau, followed by Waters, followed by Wharton. So that makes up your top 5 as they make their way down into the City of Coffs corner, exiting there into the motorbike corner. Exiting Harbour's. So, a lot to go. So, a minute 35 to go here, ladies and gentlemen. The fastest on lap is Brent Reading with 51.250. And last time round there was 0.3 of a second, but I think this might have closed up again as they go past the start-finish line. I think Foster might have been faster that time round. As they go past the start-finish line, Kip Foster with the fastest lap of the race with a 51.147. So he's been able to close a 1/10 of a second. So nothing in it, ladies and gentlemen, as they go into the bowl and come out to the City of Coffs corner. It looks like Foster might have had a little bit of a rest there, and now he's going to make his charge with 1 minute and 1 lap to go, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way into the City of Coffs corner. No, it's not. That's Hagen's corner. Anyway, Hagen's into Tyrrell. A lot closer this time round is Kip Foster on Brent Reading. So Reading and Foster make their way into the final corner, the CX corner, down past the start-finish line. Last time round it was 0.24 seconds between the leader and Kip Foster. This time round it's nothing in it really. So fastest it was a 51.4 versus a 51.359, but being able to open up a little bit of a gap this time again is Reading on Foster. So I don't know if Foster has anything for him for this final. Might have to wait for this pre-final Big 4. He might have to wait for the final and use up his tyres there. Looks like he might have just given up the race here. So didn't have anything for him this one, so he's going to have to do some little changes there. Looks like he's backed off now, so up front there doing a great job and not putting a foot wrong is Brent Reading with the last lap board showing. So well done to Brent. Brent Reading with a 51.3 that time versus Foster with a 51.6. So it looks like Foster has backed off and he's going to save his energies here for the final, which should be very exciting this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way down into the City of Coffs corner for the final time. Reading, Foster, Nicolau, Waters, Walton, Mills, Houston, Scoville, Hinton and Corbett make up the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. So good racing out there by everyone. There's a few karts out there in bowl there. There's a few karts scattered around the place. As the leaders come through the infield for the last time, the checkered flag is away already. So good job there to Brent Reading. Put your hands together for him. He's a great job there. Didn't put a foot wrong. Brent Reading takes the win here at the Heat 4 of the 2026 Australian Kart Masters, honouring Ian Brown. Congratulations to him, and we really look forward to a fantastic race there this afternoon with Kip Foster with the fastest lap of a 51.147. Anyway, congratulations, and we look forward to some good racing later on today.
Well, the cameraman